don't suffer, no be small. But say I get sense. Poverty no good at all. Now it make I join this business. For one night, you don't be it's once again. Everybody will pay up. If anybody follow Mugu, my brother, I go chop back. If anybody National Stadium, President, I go drop your dollar. I go take your money, disappear. For one time in Lobeti, the refinery, the contract, now you wife. But you won't pay me some more money, they can't bring up.
With the leather jacket, no be yori, but I dey bust your bracket. What's up, buy the beat? This time way you got the shake. You dey feel like man, you know say me, I know the rig. See the guy got the dance. You dey feel the way me say I come here to the yarn. Show them say you sabi, show them say you self you man. Hey, no be lie, see the boy with the man. Hey, I see my guy normally I come to drop bars, something way be top notch. I don't dey shake the guy, he self gonna shop vlog. Everybody dey feel I'm the way and they drop some. The guy don't dey smile, feel like say your head is on bug. He self he dey feel the way I just dey go. The flow is dope. He self he don't dey feel I'm on the low. I savage on the beat, you know say me self gonna bad. No be this your fight baby like this waiting for your man. Fine girl, what's up? Papa come now, make we talk now. I know say you self you play with man, but make it no come be like say me self go for your hand. Make we interact one on one. You dey get am out, or this your get you fine. Be like say you pack it down, but everybody don't dey feel am. They know say he bad. Everybody don't dey see them. Know say yes he do. Collect the fight, my guy. You self God, you know you joke. Collect the fight, make it no come they leave me hanging. You sound like they don't know that yeah the thing is banging. I like the guy because he be loving how I'm sounding. Everybody they see him, they know say the thing they boss. This the way everybody they carry babe come. Also find me one babe now so that I go drop it. No, this one are your babe. All those catches you know say me self I don't want to make it. Make it no come be like say me self I come here.
Now my mama be me so.
Akola Timon no Yuramada. Aluda Marapata.
Now my mama be me so. We don't get another one. Now my mama be me so. We don't get another one.
Now your mama be this soul.
Only me Tinubu.
Now your mama be this soul.
Now my mama be this soul. We don't get another one.
Now your mama be this soul.
Now my mama be this soul. We don't get another one.
Now your mama be this soul.
Now our mama be this, we don't get another one. Only me Tinubu, Mama Nigeria.
Akola Timon mọ́dá àròwó dájú ti máa rọ́pẹ́dá wọ́n ní àbábíkà ìyá Ramadan láfikún pẹ́sidẹ́ntì tó kú jákèjá.
a kú ọláwẹ̀ a kú Ramadan àròwó dájọ́ ṣùgbọ́n arọ́pẹ́dá mọ́rí àbábíkà ìyá Ramadan gbogbo ẹnu ló máa gbẹ bí àsìkò Harmattan olúwa dákun jọ gbẹ́bẹ̀ mi benefit mo fẹ́ jẹ mi ò fẹ́ jẹ̀bi ẹni tó wà nǹkan àwẹ̀ kó má rí mi ní kọ́nà bíbẹ̀ kọ́ agbalámbà bí olúwa bọ́nà báríkà ìyá Rasulullah mákìmí pàdé lọ kí Jumat bẹ̀rù ọlọ́run tákùlà láìlà ìlàlà báríkà ìyá Rasulullah mákìmí lọ kí Jumat bẹ̀rù ọlọ́run tákùlà láìlà ìlàlà àwẹ̀ tán ojú tajọ̀sán ọlọ́run ló mọye ládá 30 bag. Nothing should tamper with my ego. Èmi mo lẹ̀sìn mi sẹ́ mo lè fi brag. Ẹgbẹ́ ọlọ́run tóbi, Allahu Akbar. Ẹyọ̀ ń bá nábì, sálà láwà lẹ́yìn wà sálà. Olúwa ló ń ṣọ́ wa, àwa ò ní ìdí ajá. Tí Fọlárìn bá mú bí ìtàyà bí ti ajá. Torí ìdí gan lébè wọ́n fẹ́yìn bí ìjì àwa. Fùrọ̀ tí ò bá ti tóbi tó fùrọ̀ ìfánà kò lè fíríkì àwa. Kò dẹ̀ lè fi ìtì àwa. Tinúkẹ́ ń tó pitì, ó ń gbé màlúmi tìwòtìwò ló dìndín. Irú àyẹn níbo ló ti rí, ta ló tún fẹ́ fi jọ òbí tó bí ni. Wọ́n ló ń dó yátì, bó ń dó ṣéke, bó ṣe ń jó disco ló ń jó rékè. Fún wa nọ́mbà jẹ́ ká patronize ẹ̀, sọ̀rọ̀ owó ká mọ price. Jẹ́ ká ṣe lọ́wọ́ déédé, ìwọ náà mọ̀ mi ò kéré. Mo mọ̀ pé mi ò hólì ìbọn ọmọ wòlíì ni mi béèrè lọ́wọ́ délé. Tẹ́ bá ti rí Tinúkẹ́, ẹ sọ fún pé mo dúpẹ́. Gbogbo kìsìn gbogbo missionary gbogbo. Tẹ́ bá ti rí Tinúkẹ́, ẹ sọ fún pé mo dúpẹ́. Gbogbo kìsìn gbogbo missionary gbogbo délé. Tẹ́ bá ti rí Tinúkẹ́, ẹ sọ fún pé mo dúpẹ́. Gbogbo kìsìn gbogbo missionary gbogbo. Tẹ́ bá ti rí Tinúkẹ́, ẹ sọ fún pé mo dúpẹ́. Gbogbo kìsìn gbogbo. Ọmọ ìgbà wo ló jáná? Gbogbo scope mi ló ti ká tán. Ọmọge wá ná, I go chop before I chop you, ṣe lè dáná. Ó mọ̀ pé mo kú ẹ̀jẹ̀ bíi ti sushi, gbọ́n ẹ̀ mú bíi ti.
Kar ka bari su kashe maka sanda kake nema ba mai taya.
Jìnnà sí wọn bí sánmọ̀ sílẹ̀ o, ara ló ń ta wọ́n ṣe mọ́ o. Náà bá sunkún sójú, bẹ̀rẹ̀ má ti fi ní sọ kò fẹ́ yẹ. Ẹyẹ kò lọ ìgbín sọnù sígbó, wọ́n dúró títí ọwọ́ wọn ò tó. Ìṣó máa ṣe ta ní kókó ṣòkòtò tí olókùn ó dá kìtìyàn o. Ó dórí àwọn lọ́tẹ̀ o. Àwọn lọ́tẹ̀ o. Ó dórí àwọn.
And there it is right there. So Kototi Olokun Odakitiyan. So there it is. I need not add more to that than already stated. Shokoto Olokun Odakitiyan. A native outfit that does not have, you know, the bottom half of a native outfit, if it does not have the rope to tie it to your waist, then it becomes a struggle. That's what that says. So the bottom half of a native outfit, if it does not have the rope for you to tie it to your waist, it becomes a struggle. Shokoto ti olokun odakitiyan. So there it is right there. So a short little snapshot session, as we often do sometimes, occasionally, not often, you can't say often, then occasionally, but as we occasionally do, but with increasing frequency, a short little session just to react to a particular item within the news cycle. We're interacting with this now, space now, with an interview that took place between one of the front-running obedient proponents, one of the front-running obedient champions, Charles Ayangole, and a Mauritanian who has now by birth adopted Nigeria as his country. So it's a conversation between Charles Anyagolu and Hakeem Baba-Ahmed to speak about the incumbent government, the incumbent president that is of a Yoruba stock. So you have died in the role, very lost, obedient, Charles Anyagolu, and a Mauritanian with leanings towards the conquistador sort of a mindset, talking about the Nigerian state. So it should be an interesting little mix. So let's pick it up. Actually, let me scroll back and then we pick it up from the beginning. Let's pick it up from here. So if I can't hear it, then you can't. So this is not going to go well, is it? What do we do? Hold on. Hold on. I mean, if it, you know, if it's not running a commentary, then you know, the entire purpose is defeated. Let me see if I can let me see if I can move it around a bit, and then we'll give it another go. Hold on, let me play you a bit more music.
Jìnnà sí wọn bí sánmọ̀ sílẹ̀ o, ara ló ń ta wọ́n ṣe mọ́ o. Tán bá sùn kún sójú, bẹ̀rẹ̀ má ti fi ìgbín sọ kó fẹ́ yẹ. Ẹyẹ fò lọ ìgbín sọnù sígbó. Wọ́n dúró títí ọwọ́ wọn ò tó. Ìṣó máa ṣe ta ní kókó ṣòkòtò tí olókùn ó dá kìtìyàn o. Ó dórí àwọn lọ́tẹ̀ o. Àwọn lọ́tẹ̀ o. Ó dórí àwọn. Ṣì mí lọ́nà o, mo tẹríba fàdà àgbà o, àgbà ẹ foríjì ni, ojoojúmọ́ ni mo ń pọ́n wọn lé, mo ń ṣèyá sí àwọn àgbà o, mi ò fojú tí ń rìn wọn láyé, ọmọdé ẹ má fàgbà ṣe yẹ̀yẹ́, torí oníkọ́ tó yẹ ọlá ni, ọmọdé ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà o, màmá ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà o. Máa ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà o. Ọmọdé ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà. Ọmọdé ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà o. Ọmọdé ń bọ̀ wá dàgbà. Bọ́lájú kòkòrò bá gbẹ́ran nígbó, tó bá fúnra ẹ̀ pín ló dára jù o. Kọ̀wé mi á jẹ́ dàgbà o. Èyí mo rí màrò, ẹ̀ka gbogbo náà ní ilé ayé. Sùúrù ní ṣẹ́gun ohun gbogbo. Ẹ má ṣèké mo ní ẹ má dalẹ̀. Forí wórí ìkìlọ̀ ló jẹ́, ẹ̀yin forí wórí yìí yóò ṣáàbà mọ́, àwa ò ní ṣáàbà mọ́ láyé o. Nílé ayé o. Àwa ò ní ṣáàbà mọ́ láyé. Àwa ò ní ṣáàbà mọ́ láyé. Àwa ò ní ṣáàbà mọ́ láyé. Dẹ́bìtọ̀ rẹ̀ àtàrà ilé o. Àwa ò ní ṣáàbà mọ́ láyé. Àwa ò ní ṣáàbà mọ́ láyé. Àwa ò ní ṣáàbà. Ṣòkòtò wọn múra wọn sáré kẹrù sọkọ o, àyàn ọmọ ògbóògùn wo wọn ò béèrè lọ́wọ́ orí, orí lọmọ mẹ́wàá lọ ìyàwó, ohun tí ẹ wá lọ sí Ṣòkòtò, ohun bẹ lápò Ṣòkòtò mo sọ, àkúnlẹ̀yàn ọmọ ẹ̀dá láyé, kò lè yí padà mo ń tẹnu mọ́ o, olórí làlá bàrò, orí làlá bàrò, olórí mi níjà o. Olórí lálàbàrò. Lálàbàrò. Olórí lálàbàrò. Oríjà jogun ìkànnì wọn rí, má fi wá fàyè lókè o.
Mo sàdíyà bàbá lókè o.
Olúwa gbé wa níjà o.
Mo sàdíyà bàbá lókè o.
Kó má fi wá sílẹ̀ o.
Mo sàdíyà bàbá lókè o.
Olúwa má fi wá sílẹ̀ o. Mo sàdíyà bàbá. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè rajọ, ìbànújẹ́ ti bá àwọn ọ̀tá nílé. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè rajọ, ìbànújẹ́ ti bá àwọn ọ̀tá nílé. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè rajọ, ìbànújẹ́ ti bá àwọn ọ̀tá nílé. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè rajọ, ìbànújẹ́ ti bá àwọn ọ̀tá nílé. Bí wọ́n ti ro ti wá sí nínú ilé, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni kó jẹ́ tiwọn lọ ijọ́ gbogbo. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè rajọ, ìbànújẹ́ ti bá àwọn ọ̀tá nílé. Àwọn ọ̀tá tí wọ́n rè.
Hakeem Baba-Ahmed, until recently special advisor to the presidency on political matters, preferred to for a new generation.
All right. All right. I'm echoing back on myself, so let me mute something in order that I don't echo back on myself. All right. So let's just get started then. I think we may well be able to pick it up from here. So let us pick it up from here, and then we get it started. Let's remove that. You know, it's just the yeah. I'm sure. Why am I echoing back? I should not be echoing back. You know, I may just abandon this session if it doesn't cooperate with me. All right. Let's try one more thing. Let me mute it here and open it here, and then we'll see. Hold on. You would have thought I'd have perfected the system by now. Yeah, I haven't done this thing for so long, but yeah, let's see if this works. If it doesn't, then we just leave it.
So, having spent the last 18 months inside the gilded cocoon of Aso Rock, Hakeem Baba-Ahmed, until recently special advisor to the presidency on political matters, preferred to leave that world and return to the primordial ooze of Nigerian politics. So, the end of a stint in the Tinubu administration, and as one critic put it, another struggle to bring Nigerian leadership out of the dark ages into the light. Mr. Baba-Ahmed, of course, known to be unapologetically outspoken, and he's come out of the experience of that unique position with both guns basic. He's written an open letter to President Tinubu calling on him to step aside for a new generation of Nigerians who can carry the country forward with fresh ideas and energy. He said President Tinubu had failed to turn what he called inauguration goodwill into effective leadership, and that the renewed hope agenda was not a coherent plan for governance, but more of a set of campaign promises. And he twisted the knife further, insisting that more than half of the business managing administration that had the huge task of improving security, livelihoods, and the public trust. He warned that Nigerians across the regions are deeply dissatisfied with the North drifting away from the president under the weight of economic hardship, insecurity, and alienation, the East politically disengaged, the South fragmented, and the Southwest at best lukewarm. Ouch. Well, for more on this, I'm joined now in the studio by Hakeem Baba-Ahmed. This is his first television interview, the first he's granted since he resigned as special advisor.
All right. So if you look at this guy's facial features, you'll see from the headline, of course, that I described him as a Mauritanian, and he is a Mauritanian, by the way. Let me just do this. Hakeem Baba-Ahmed. So if we look at his genealogy, then you will see that it's a first generation Nigerian. He was born in Nigeria, but his father is a Mauritanian, and his family backdrop is Mauritanian. So he's no more Nigerian than I am an Englishman. I was born in Oxfordshire, but I am of or you are laughing stock, you know, so I can no more claim to be English any more than this SHUWA Arab can claim to be Nigerian. You know, do you understand? So a leopard that is born in a lion's den is still a leopard. You know, a tiger born in a lion's den is still a tiger. It doesn't become a lion because it was born in a lion's den. So this guy essentially and his mini-me brother, the one that runs around with Peter Obi, they are both SHUWA Arabs of Mauritanian stock. So they are Mauritanians, not Nigerians. Sorry about the. I'm not quite sure why the
political affairs at the presidency. He was also, of course, the former spokesman of the Northern Elders Forum. Thank you very much indeed for coming in.
Thank you very much, Charles. It's good to see you. Long time.
Lovely to see you again, and glad that you chose Arise to come here and sit with us and speak. Tell us first of all why you resigned as special advisor on political affairs in the office, a specific office of the vice president. I mean, this may sound like a cliche, but did you jump or were you pushed?
I jumped. I went into the position with very high expectations.
And by the way, I'm not really sure why Charles was thanking him for choosing Arise TV for its first outing after leaving government. Everybody knows that the Arise TV platform is an anti-government space and a pro-Obi space. So anybody that wants to launch against the sitting administration using whatever verbosity or made-up narrative that they want to launch at the government with, they always go to Arise TV, because Arise TV, of course, everybody knows it's an obedient space and it's everything against the government and the country.
Expectations. I desperately hoped that President Tinubu would be successful. I went in there to work for him and for Nigeria, and I believed that we could work. I was made to understand by the vice president, who was the catalyst to my going there, that there was space to work, there was a job to be done, and I knew, having campaigned so vigorously for 8 years and against the incompetence and the damage which President Buhari did, that his successor, who also pushed the country into the deep end and promised something close to a revolution, as President Tinubu, was going to follow through and really take Nigeria through the revolution and change it, at least in his first term. So I went in there with high spirits, and unfortunately, it didn't work out.
Well, I mean, let's get into a little more detail, because I was going to ask you what was it like working at that level, because that's a very high level. I mean, special advisor. I'm wondering what your job as special advisor on political affairs entails, and whether your advice was actually being taken.
On paper, it was a great job. I mean, it was a huge responsibility to be the political advisor to a president in the office of the vice president. Was an enormously important job on paper, but it depends on if it's actually actualized in real life. It wasn't. It was very frustrating.
Are you saying that they were not listening to you, or there was never any opportunity to actually exercise the role that you were put there to play?
There was really.
What is commercial property? There are 5 main types. I'm going to talk to them. Retail, that is one.
You have to understand the structure of the Nigerian presidency has been virtually the same for the last, maybe since 1999, maybe even during the military times. The number 2 is always at a certain disadvantage. So much of what the number 2 does depends on the chemistry between 1 and 2, the configuration, the power dimensions, the nature of the cliques around the president.
And by the way, what this Mauritanian guy is describing right here is not anything unique or peculiar to the Nigerian experiment or the Nigerian experience. A president universally is an all-encompassing position, because when people are voting for a president, they are not necessarily, some of the votes might well be as a consequence of the running mate, but the majority of the vote is for the principle of that ticket. So go to the United States. They did not vote for J.D. Vance. They voted for Donald Trump. So go to the United Kingdom. They did not vote for, I don't even think the United Kingdom has a deputy system. They voted for one singularity, and that obtained in whatever format democracy exercises. So it's not a unique or peculiar thing to the Nigerian state that the power and potency of a vice president is dependent on the largesse of the president. So it's not a peculiarly Nigerian thing, it's a universality. But then, of course, the Mauritanian up to mischief.
So much depends on what the number 1 does. And if the president doesn't really feel that the office of the vice president is not central to his success or useful, you just set it up. We've seen that many times. And basically this is what I met and what I left behind. There wasn't much to do. I wasn't used to sitting idle, and there was a lot to be done. If I had been involved, I could have offered my humble advice or opinion, but I wasn't. And I couldn't just be collecting salaries and sit down and do nothing.
There, because there are all these reports floating around that the Vice President Kashim Shettima is being steadily and systematically isolated by the Tinubu ring or clique of supporters in the presidency. Is that a fact?
No, I didn't see any evidence of that.
But you said that it depended a lot. Your job depended on the chemistry.
You're talking about my job. Now you're talking about the working relationship.
You can see there Charles trying to lead this guy to describe that there's a chasm between the relationship, in the relationship rather between Kashim Shettima and Tinubu. So you can see that invitation, and that's usually how this Charles works. It likes to lead for you to land on the his political leaning sort of narrative. That's what he likes to do. He likes to lead his guest to land towards the the narrative of his particular political leanings, and we all know, of course, that the host Charles Ayangoli is an obedient. So he's trying to pivot the guy towards an obedient space, but the guy was not having it.
There are all these reports floating around that the Vice President Kashim Shettima is being steadily and systematically isolated by the Tinubu ring or clique of supporters in the presidency. Is that a fact?
No, I didn't see any evidence of that.
But you said that it depended a lot. Your job depended on the chemistry.
You're talking about my job. Now you're talking about the working relationship. We were talking about, did I do any more serious work? Did I, was I...
No, but I'm wondering why you didn't get to do that serious
Like
work.
I said, it's not peculiar to me. Many vice presidents, many people who had worked with vice presidents went through the same experience I went through.
Right, but you were suggesting that that was possibly because sometimes the principal and his vice don't sort of, the chemistry isn't there. And I'm wondering if he was being pushed aside.
No, I think that there are two different things. The vice president, as an official recognized by the Constitution as the number 2 citizen, how busy he is, how active he is, what he does and what he doesn't do, substantially depends on the disposition of the president.
Right.
So that's a settled issue. And
irrespective of who it is.
And again, there's a universality to that statement. The impact of a vice president globally, universally, is dependent on the largesse of the president. So it's not a peculiarly Nigerian thing. You know, you've seen the American vice president. It's like anytime he speaks, he's always fanboying Donald Trump, because Donald Trump can very quickly clip his wings if he doesn't stay on message. And ditto every other vice president in any other presidency globally. So it's not a uniquely peculiar thing, it's a universal thing.
I mean, which administration?
I know Vice President Atiku, Vice President Atiku's first time, he was incredibly busy. When they fell out, the second time he was virtually non-existent.
Right.
I also worked with another president whose vice president was idle for a substantial amount of time until the president died, and then that's Jonathan and Malam Umar. I think, to answer your question, the vice president's office is either busy or not busy. It entirely depends on the disposition of the president. I know that in their personal chemistry, this I know from the vice president, they have put the personal chemistry between the president and the vice president is excellent. I hear this from the vice president, sometimes almost to a fault. Kashim Shettima always says how great the president is and he's a good man, he means well for this country. And sometimes on one or two occasions I've said to him, but if he's so good, I mean, how is it that we see so many of the wrong things going on? And then, but he will defend the president with his life. I know this for a fact. But it's the way it is set.
So that settles that matter, doesn't it? You know, the chasm that the opposition space, especially the obedience space, are trying to create between Kashim Shettima and Tinubu. So now this now settles that matter, because the guy on the screen, the Mauritanian Hakeem Baba-Ahmed, who has just now fresh out of that presidency as a special advisor to the vice president, is telling us how effusive Kashim Shettima is in his gushing praise of Tinubu. So he has not identified any chasm there, and And it is in his interest, by the way, Hakeem Baba-Ahmed, to try and create that divide because it leans towards his opposition towards the administration. So the chasm that the obedience space are trying to create between Tinubu and Hakeem and Kashim Shettima, the chasm that the obedience space are trying to create between Tinubu and Kashim Shettima, this interaction right here puts that to bed. It has no traction, is what the Mauritanian is saying.
You also need to understand, Charles, the presidency is a lot more than the president and the vice president. There are aides, very powerful aides. There are other people who intervene. They can decide whether both of them work well or they don't work well. They can decide if the number 2 is active or not. They can decide if the number 1 is active or not. That's how powerful they are.
But you got along well with Kashim Shettima.
Absolutely.
So what did he say to you was the reason why you remained idle, why you weren't being used as you ought to be?
Well, like him, we wait our time. We wait for opportunity. We wait for someone to say, do something.
Right. So was he also pretty much
no, he was
sitting around most of the time?
No, I think he's in his own case, he filled up some space.
Right.
His own space. He did well. I think he represented this government well. He's an extremely intelligent and hardworking person and very loyal to the president. But that doesn't necessarily reflect on all of us. There were quite a number of absolutely brilliant people in the office. I have met some incredibly good people, and he is very good in headhunting. And on his side of the presidency, it's incredible the quality of people that he has there. It's unfortunate, however, that they're not being put to use.
You mean on the president's side?
The vice president.
Okay, the vice president.
I was just happened to be the first one to jump. Or I don't know whether I'll be the first one to jump.
Right.
But I was the one who said no. I got to do something better with my time and my life. There's a country to be fixed, and if I can't fix it, working for this government, and this what you call the cocoon, I can do it outside.
And of course, I mean, there's a lot of politics that floats around, I mean, these things, isn't there? I mean, is it true that you were appointed to give the Tinubu administration northern credibility, especially after a contentious election?
If there was, I didn't.
So that's another. Sorry, that's another leading question by the Anambra-born host of that show. By the way, Charles Ajakole. He's from Anambra, of course. I think you all know that. Is inviting them the thought that this guy here was appointed into the Tinubu administration to give the administration northern credibility. So I'm not quite sure why or how that is, because the abundance of the Tinubu administration is from the north. We've just now recently had a conversation about the appointment when they were trying to say it was a Yoruba-nized administration, and what came out of that conversation was that the abundance of the appointments made by Tinubu were from the north. A good 55-60% of the key positions within this administration, Tinubu, is from the north. All the key functionaries, all the high-end functionalities of government, the majority of them are from the north. So how can one random northerner of Mauritanian stock be the one to give the administration northern credibility? The administration, the Tinubu administration, is already weighted towards the north. So that's another leading question by the Anambra-born presenter of this particular clip that we're looking at.
Better with my time and my life. There's a country to be fixed. And if I can't fix it,
apologies for the quality of the clip, by the way. It's nothing It's nothing
Especially
within my
after a
control. I
contentious
think it's the
election.
strength of the internet connection that's not, it's usually stronger than this. I'm not quite sure. Let me see if I refresh it, if it will pop up a bit better. But no, we'll just endure it just for as long as we can. And then if anybody turns up for a conversation, then we'll pick it up from there. But if nobody turns up, then we just watch it to the end and we cap it off. So you can see the startling thing to tell you then that the connection is throttling. So that's just where we are. So let me skip through this ad and then see if this
I took two
makes
things
us with a stronger.
that I love: dancing and dogs. And I made
a lot of politics that floats around these things there, and it is administration more than credibility, especially after a contentious election.
If there was, I wasn't aware of it. I like to believe that on my own merit, I deserve to be appointed advisor on political matters. I didn't need
I think a lot of people would agree with that.
Yeah, well, I didn't need an additional regional to be advisor.
All right. The connection is too unbearable to be endured, but thankfully we have AY here, and I'm sure he would have watched it. So let's just see if we can get AY's thoughts. So AY, good to have you here. We were talking about we were trying to interact with the Hakeem Baba-Ahmed his exit from the APC government, and is now coming out into the media space to tell us of what his experiences are of that government. Further into the conversation, he actually invites Tinubu to step down and not contest for 2027. So what are you making of this media outing then by Hakeem Baba-Ahmed, our Mauritanian Nigerian?
Hey, morning, woman. Quick one. So, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you speak. Yeah,
okay. Yeah, first of all, part of the reason I joined was the reason of I saw you. I heard you criticizing Charles. To be honest, I think Charles is one of the best journalists we have in the country. He's somebody I love so much. Like,
because of his British accent, Abby.
No. He's actually very
This
objective.
is the thing with Nigerians. They always
no. Hold on. I understand, like, yeah, but I don't think he was obedient at all. I think he's very professional. I listened in the heat of the Yes Daddy tape when Charles interviewed Peter Obi. He kept asking him, like, was that you? Was that you? Was that your voice? He said, then Peter Obi did not answer. Peter Obi said, oh, I don't want to discuss it, something like that. But he was very open, like, try to let people understand what is going on. I really watch him. I understand, yeah, some people on what's it called? On Arise, yeah, they play politics sometimes. I get that. The other thing is Hakeem Baba-Ahmed. So first of all, you got to give him some credit. At the heat of the obedient movement, where his brother was the vice president, vice presidential candidate of Labour Party,
running mate.
The running mate. So he was able to abandon his brother and move into Tinubu government to work with him. I'm also particularly surprised how, Hakeem Baba-Ahmed, I think this guy did not play around. You know, they have some people that can play around. I think Tinubu failed from the way he's talking. He failed in terms of not giving him assignment, not meeting with him. Like, how do you make somebody your advisor Probably he has been working for close to 2 years now. You never met with him. If I were the one, I would resign. That's bizarre. Some people could say, "Oh, I just want to stay here, be collecting money and do nothing. Who cares?" But he want to protect his integrity. I think Tinubu, yes, he's a good politician in terms of the Nigeria context, but I think he needs to be careful. He needs to be super careful. He really needs somebody that will tell him the truth, because some of these guys, they can pull him down. Like, if you know the history, what happened to Goodluck Jonathan? Goodluck Jonathan problem started with the generals. It started with OBJ. You know, people have this feeling that OBJ was just trying to control. Then Tiwa Dejuma was the one that was the last one that actually broke the camel back. So I remember Tiwa Dejuma was narrating story how he visited the president. They make him wait from, say, like early part of the morning till like evening before he was able to meet with the president. Then Goodluck Jonathan, and when the president came out, he said he was just smelling alcohol. So, and he got pissed. He went to the so-called the owners of Nigeria, the IBB of this world, the OBJ, all these generals, so all those big guys. I was telling them, listen, we don't have a president. We have to let this guy go. So that was part of the problem of Goodluck Jonathan. Yes, Tinubu is a good politician. Now he's gathering a lot of momentum with the political force in the South going on. In the North, I think we are going to see more, but still, people like El-Rufai, look at the issue he had with El-Rufai. I was explaining that issue the other day. Some people were like, no, El-Rufai, it was security report that disqualified him as a minister, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, forget that discussion, man. We know how Nigeria works. If the president wanted El-Rufai in his government, El-Rufai would be there. Nothing will stop him. That's just the honest truth. The way they are forming alliances now, except Tinubu is able to break this coalition that is going on especially in the North. Can you just imagine?
Has Tinubu not broken it already? Is the question. Tinubu has. You say they are forming coalition, but the only coalition that we're seeing is the coalition being formed by Tinubu, and all the South governors are already on board, every single state, and then the pearl in the jewel of the northern space, which is Kwakwanso, is already virtually with Tinubu. So what coalition is left?
That is what I'm saying. Right? I will say
wobbling big bellies all over the place, taking photos with Buhari. Is that what?
Let me say this. I have said it, right. If you conduct presidential election in Nigeria today, Tinubu it was going to be a big victory. But in politics, 24 hours is a very long time. There is no coalition yet, because yesterday, I think El-Rufai met with Kwankwaso. Kwankwaso, me, I personally feel is with Tinubu, but anything can happen in politics. So here is the sign. I think we need to wait in January 2026. That is where you will know the reshape of the political the politics that will happen in 2027. Because the reason I'm saying that, by the time you see Kwankwaso and his men join APC, you know that the coalition is going to be a big shaking, even in the North, right? So that is just the honest truth. Because
but what I'm saying is, sorry, why? I'm Prestige. Good to have you as well. There are only 3 of us here, so we can just have a conversation so long as civil. What I'm saying, AY, and I've said it in previous sessions, that this election, the 2027 election, will be won and lost before the end of this year. So once all of
Yeah,
the
you are right.
it'll be impossible if Kwankwanso joins Tinubu. We are seeing all the South spaces joining the APC. It'll be impossible for anybody to claim that they won an election when the important state in the north with the most votes is with Tinubu. All of the South are there. The Southwest almost certainly. And then what's that's the election, isn't it? As soon as Kwankwanso joins Tinubu, the election is won. And there is no argument that anybody was cheated.
Invariably, we are technically saying the same thing, right? I said by January 2027, 2026, you're gonna know the shape the whole thing is taking. I understand the politics Tinubu is trying to play, which I said here last week, right? Tinubu right now is trying to capture the South. I mean, the South I think is gone. He will try to the Southwest is gone. Except apart from Mushu, which he will try to capture right now. And I feel Adeleke himself, I don't trust him. I think you might see him supporting Tinubu 2027. Then because he wants a second term, the only way politician you don't trust the Nigerian politicians. Adeleke, I see Adeleke having negotiating with Tinubu, because if he's able to negotiate Tinubu will say, okay, you give me Oshu, APC leaves Oshu State for Adeleke. This is policy that can happen, right? In the middle belt, he will be strong over there. So these are basically Peter Obi's struggle. South side, Peter Obi, I think, I don't know, maybe it's called up to 60 something % of the vote. I don't think that will repeat itself in 2027, in all honesty, because when you look at it now, Edo is captured by APC. Delta is captured by APC. I think the highest Peter Obi can do in those states in 2027 is going to be, they're going to divide the state. I think that's the highest you can do, in my own estimation. It's going to be like, because this governor, they will try as much as possible to deliver those states to Tinubu because of their interest in the next election. So there is midterm election for Edo after 2027. There will be midterm election. No midterm election in Delta. There will be election in Delta. So the politics is going to be different. And Wike, I still feel if Wike doesn't matter if the cap or it's not the capping, he's going to try to run River State over. Except something major happen. Cross River is APC. Akwa Ibom, the governor said he's supporting APC. So I feel South, Tinubu is locking down South. The Southwest, that's his sole base. At worst, he will score 60% in Southwest. So I think the battle is going to be in the North. So these guys, you see all these Baba-Ahmed, all those the likes of El-Rufai, these people can speak, they can talk, both in Hausa and in English. They are tough. They are not scared. It's Fulani, you don't Fulani mad, they are not afraid. So Tinubu needs to look for a way to talk to them. Otherwise, if he allow the coalition materialize, especially without Atiku in the ticket, you have Peter Obi and the stronger Northern candidate. There is still fight too. So I want to watch this space till early 2026. Then I will be able to make an informed decision. Hey, this is the direction. But for now, it's still early. I think Tinubu is in control right now. But early 2026, everything will be much clearer. That's the way I see it. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Is it my turn, one man?
Yeah, yes, it is. I was just about to bring you in. Good to have you, Prestige. We were trying to interact with the Hakeem Baba-Ahmed interview on Arise TV, but the clip was playing off. But I think most of us would have watched it anyway, so we're just giving thoughts. Floor is yours, Prestige.
Yeah, thank you very much, AY. Greeting, Femi. One man is not to be on the platform. Don't mind my slot speech. I just wake up, I'm on the West Coast. I think it's about 9 o'clock. What's the time difference right now between us and the UK? Is it 5 hours or 6 hours?
think it should be 5 hours. No?
It should be 5 hours right now. Okay.
Oh,
So it's about
you are
9.
in
Well,
you are in
it's
California,
2
right?
p.m. here, so it's 2 p.m. here.
Oh, okay. I'm in the west coast.
One
It's
might
about
it,
9:18, and
yeah,
in the
it's gonna
I
be
mean
8 hours.
in the west coast it's about 6 something. So, but I'm not on the east coast. I'm not on the west coast. So, but anyway, greeting everybody. Having said that, I'm going to start before I pivot to Baba-Ahmed. Let me start with where AY stopped. So I will, then I will go back to. I've watched the video early this morning when I woke up about a few hours ago. I mean, well, an hour ago. Um, you need to put a caveat in that AY. This is just my personal opinion. Okay, I'm not objecting to what he said. If election is held today, Tinubu is going to win it with the structure intact. But you need to put a caveat. If election is free and fair, in my own opinion, Tinubu is not going to win. So
Yeah,
that's what I think. But we know how
yeah,
Nigeria is.
yeah.
So
You're right.
that's my caveat in that. But because of what we have right now, it's going to win. But on what's going on, I think Tinubu. I mean, I don't have any issue with Tinubu. I may come here and criticize him. I don't support his government. His this position in terms of leadership is lacking. He doesn't have any leadership quality. He may be a wizard when it comes to politicking. Yeah, that I give it to him. But who benefit when it comes to politicking or his political wizard? Who benefit? It's him that benefit and some of his crony. It doesn't benefit Nigeria. So I'm not going to come here and praise him because he's a political genius. But when the political genius is not translated into a leadership, whereby the Nigerian people will benefit, then I can praise him in that regard. So that's what I'm going to say when it comes to that. Let's talk about this collusion going on right now. Yes, but if I am Tinubu, this is just an advice as somebody that I don't support. He should try to work because the Northerners, nothing is going to bring the Northern about this. Let me just say the Northwest, and all this coalition they are talking right now is I don't see any headway to it because it's not even making any sense because everybody is just for their own interest. Obi is going to contest. We know that it's probably going to capture South, Southeast, South, probably going to be divided probably because Tinubu has made inroad. That's my own opinion in that. Even data, let's just take data for example. Being that everybody has gone to APC, unless it's raining, the data people will still vote for Obi. I mean, that it doesn't matter. Okowa was the vice president and the governorship at that time. Obi carried I don't know by how many percentage in data state, But we are talking about if it is free. So we need to put out that caveat, okay? Tinubu is a wizard when it comes to politicking. So I still have to put that in there. Yeah, that's right. That's right. But if I were Tinubu, because of war, like I probably said, I'm not a Tinubu supporter. I'm a Obi supporter, but I want the presidency to remain in the south. Okay, if anybody from the south, which is Obi, but it's kind of very very difficult for me to say. He's gonna win, but if anybody, it has to be anybody from side, not that Tinubu returning, because I have an issue with that. It's not going to make any changes. The Northern are coming. Is it their bad right? That's why I have an issue. Why is it that every time a Southerner become a president, they would have, even I'm a Obi supporter, they would have done the same thing to Obi, if they say the economy is not going well. Let's Obi has come in and so we need to be very fair, and Obi is not doing good, they're going to do the same thing because it's a Southerner. They don't have a bad right to the governorship. I have not really paid attention to the data. Maybe one man you have it. I don't know how many if you have to portion it percentage wise, they have ruled this country. If anybody has the data, can tell me. I think it's more than half, or maybe about maybe 2/3. They've been ruling this country, if I'm right. But if I'm wrong, let somebody tell me. Right from since independence. But anyway, it's not their bad right. The world doesn't work that way. They need to, we are very tribalistic people. I would have liked us to say, let's just throw away all this trouble away. But it's that's something that's not it's not at the present. So I can only speak about the present. So that's the way I see that. He should have at least try to bring the Southeast in because the people in the Southeast, I'm telling you, they are very understanding. Forget about what's going on. Say just some problem between the Igbo and which I don't really believe is politics. So I don't really believe that Igbo and Yoruba has a problem. not even a minute. Okay, it's when it comes to politics, people try to go for their own interest. You should try to bring this the Southeast in. Believe me, forget about this coalition. I don't have it. I don't think there's a teeth to this coalition, right? To this coalition they are talking right now. If you try to bring the Southeast or pardon Nando Kano, he can do it. He has the right to do it. Forget about what they say about Supreme Court, Nigerian, Nigerian situation. Tinubu can do it. Not necessarily, but not try to bring the Southeast in. If you win the South, if we bring the Southeast, he's going to win the Southwest, South, probably Benue, probably the Middle Belt area. He's going to get the presidency, but he need to be more, present his ingenuity when it comes to, leadership. He's lacking. And I listened to this Baba-Ahmed, what he said. I was never really a fan of Baba-Ahmed, but the way, he read this interview, if you really watch it, you can say that the man, maybe about 80% of what he's saying, of course, there's going to be some sentiment to what he said. It's true. The man is very intelligent, At least, he's very intelligent enough to understand that Tinubu lacked the mental capacity to govern this country, and it's time to walk away. He's very, very, and everything that he stated, they try to see. He never said Shekima. At least he has dispensed this myth that we have in this platform that some people, like he said, everybody, that Shetima, has been sidelined. And he said that no, it's not. Shetima is not sidelined. So if he's going to say that, because he's not a Tinubu supporter right now, so we have to believe what he said. Shetima is not sidelined. I mean, I think you have said there are some other people, but I was thinking that way too, because that he has sidelined. But I believe what he said, that Shetima has not been sidelined. But the one that concerns me the most, if you're an advisor to the president, you have not met the president. I don't know how long he's been an advisor, at least about a year plus. I think he wasn't appointed immediately after Tinubu came into office. Maybe 6 months into his office or 4 months, then he was appointed. So he has been there for about a year. And he said he has not met the president even once, but he has seen him in the in the mosque. I think they have a mosque in the Aso Rock, and he has seen him there, but he has never met the president even once. So what are we saying? That means the president surrounded himself with people who are shielding him from the from some of the fat. This is why, and he don't go anywhere. He don't go out. He don't speak to the people. People are just telling him, what to do if it buy or no and some of the advice that he have, and some of them are doing it for their own benefit. Tinubu need to be wiser than what's saying. I believe everything, most of what Baba-Ahmed said, because he never really come here to criticize Tinubu. He just said the governor, he doesn't know how to govern, and he's lacking in that area. That's why he said. And every other thing that he spoke, I watched the whole thing this morning when I first woke up. He speak pretty good about the president, but when it comes to leadership, he's lacking in that area. And he hasn't made, that's the one that baffled me. You have not met the president for almost about a year. You're in the office, but you have seen him in the mosque. I think he said twice. So something has to be given, okay? That's just my own opinion when it was saying. I mean, I agree totally with what he said.
Man of
That's the way I
Prestige,
see that.
let me
Yes, sir.
quickly push back a little. You said Tinubu should bring the Southeast in. I would say this, without no contradiction. There is, even if Peter Obi is not contesting, Atiku contest, Southeast will not vote for Tinubu. It's not going to happen. I can't tell you that for free.
No. Okay, yeah, you have a point. You have a point, but
yeah,
I'm talking for the country unity.
Okay, yeah.
For the country unity. Yeah. You are right. I think I will make the same statement when it comes to electoral, and even at all. But what is the purpose of a big contestant? We just fragment in the whole country. Tinubu is going to contest. He has the megaphone, and the North is going to have their own president.
You are
giving it to Tinubu. Obi is not going to win. So let's call it spade a spade.
If you listen to me, even I have said it several times. Any president that you want to get the people together. In fact, you want to achieve success in Nigeria, the first step is to unite the country. Let any part of the country see you discriminating against them. Because the moment they see that, you're going to start having problem. You got to bring the country together. That's one credit that he gives to Obasanjo. Obasanjo, he doesn't care. He was able to bring the country together.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think he's been isolated by his advisor. Because you know what he should have done? Immediately come back from London. He should have gone straight to Benue State. The optic is very important. He should have gone to Benue State. At least go there and speak, even a minute. I mean, this is what we call a leadership. We need to be visiting places, like Baba-Ahmed said, and I don't think he's lying. They say he's been so isolated in the office. It's not a lot of people that go there and see him, even the advisors. Yeah.
Yeah, what I want to say is that, please, I'm very sorry for interrupting.
Oh no, you good. Go ahead, brother.
Like what I notice about this guy is that this guy is not mentally fit. Let us be frank. You can't be a Buhari that we are saying that Buhari is old. Buhari used to come out. This guy we can count the occasion that he is present. Since when he has been present. He's very poor. Can't him walk? Like I have not seen a president within a month, he will not appear in a public occasion at all.
Who are you talking about that doesn't appear?
Hold on, and down.
Hold on, Femi.
What kind of president is that? He does not come out. He does not speak. You don't know what is going on. I am a Yoruba man. People know that I supported him. One man knows that I supported him during the election period. But the way this guy is doing things is not making sense. What you said just now is right. For the optics, you go to Benue. You visited the community. You visited the king of the community. You talk to them that you are on top of the issues. This is it. For the optics, it will be a very good thing for him. But in my own view, I think his advisor, they think like us, but they see him as someone that is not fit for that. That's what I say about it. He's not fit. He does not.
Yeah, I don't think he's been isolated. I don't know if it is. I don't know if it's because of his own making or the advice he's getting. Believe me, one man, he's been isolated. Okay. Yeah. So go ahead, Femi. I think I'm done. Maybe I'll interject later.
Yeah, that's what I see about this. That is what I noticed. Look at what this. If you remember the interview on Okpota, in interview, people are blaming that because they did not appoint him. Let us be frank with ourselves. Okpota defend this guy during the election, before the election, after the election. But these people were just sidelined. I can't put in my effort into a man, and that person will just sideline me, and I will be happy. Is he my father? Or is he my politics is all about interest? Every one of us knows this. But people will be saying, he should wait. He should wait for what? Look at ambassador. Since almost 2 years, ambassador, you abandon this position. Bro, you cannot be enjoying a government. These guys have to enjoy it also. Politics is all about collective. You should have appointed ambassador since. I will not be an ambassador. But I look at politics as a politics of something that you have to give people appointments. Look at Trump. Before he came in, he have appointed over hundreds of people. That is how it is. People put in effort to put you there. You have to reward them. I don't know what people say about it. You have to reward them. You can't be saying that you appoint people that did not do anything, that do nothing in the election. A lot of them that they can name. A lot. Bianca did nothing for your re-election, for your winning of election. Bianca is a minister today.
No, Bianca is politics.
I don't want to know that, bro. There's a lot of people. I know that it's strategic. There's a lot of people that put in effort. Bosun Tijani is part of this government. Bosun Tijani criticizing during the election period also. We should be. Yeah. We have to. Election is all about your. You can't point your enemy. That is how it is. You abandon this set of people, you make them redundant. You make them to be a laughing stock to the public. That you support him, he has abandoned you, he has forgotten you. This thing is rubbish, bro. It's not making sense. I am not in the country, I am not taking appointment, but I am speaking as someone that have been in politics. I know how it feels when you are silent. I know how it feels. You feel bad, you feel pain that you put in the energy and you were silent, you were not appointed. These people appoint, these guys that they appoint, these guys that this man has appointed, they are not better than Onokosa. A lot of them, they are not better than Onokosa. I don't know Onokosa, I don't know him from Adam, I have not met him, but I see him all the time on the television speaking in support of this man.
Onokosa is just like one man. It does not have political value, man.
It's not about political value. All this, I want to ask you, Tijani cannot win his polling unit. Tijani cannot win his polling unit. Cannot. What is this guy that came to Channel TV yesterday? The aviation minister cannot win his polling unit.
Oh, Kiyamo?
Kiyamo does not win his polling unit. He has 20 votes. In a point of over 150 votes, he has 20 votes for Tinubu. Labour Party has 100 votes.
Femi, let me ask, sorry, something in my mind. Let me ask AY something. This APC that they come to, this PDP that they come to APC, what do you think? How they going to function? Omar Gege is not going to, it's not going to truncate his, governorship ambition. So how's that going to play?
Well, the thing is, so you gotta see crisis in APC in Delta because Omwagege, he will be interested to see contest, right? But the honest truth is, you want to be honest, it's not gonna have the structure of the party at this point. So they're gonna give the structure of the party to the governor. When you see, the other thing is, when you see Governor Dikape like this, there is a strong negotiation already. The part of the tea the governor is going to negotiate is assure me of second term ticket. So even when you see senators decapping, that is part of the negotiation, is assure me second term ticket. So what I think will happen is you might see Omwagege moving to a different party. Right? Just look at what this thing. You might see that happening.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because they're gonna push him out. Except Omwagege is gonna be patient to say, okay, there will be an agreement where the governor finish. They are gonna give him the ticket. They are gonna.
I thought he's the Jagaban of Delta State.
No, the politics
Okay.
does not work like that. The governor is gonna. Governor is not gonna. So if you watch it, Omwagege, he was even smart enough to get into a meeting with the APC chairman yesterday and all the members. I'm looking at politics of Delta. The APC in Delta, from Ned Nwoko, aviation minister, there is this former APC woman leader. All of them, they are in the same camp. So Omwagege is the only standalone man that has his own team and squad. So Omwagege has political value. So he can move to Labour Party or PDP and start fighting again. Yeah, he is a fighter. But if he think he's gonna get the ticket next election, he's gonna be disappointed. He knows. So Omwagege was fighting all the way. He never wanted the governor faction to move into APC because he knows if they come.
Somebody said on the chat that Omwagege worked for obedience last time. What do you have any facts? Any data to that?
Yeah, there was some news going around that he was supporting Labour, but I'm not sure. There were news going. Sometimes you have all these news, right? But I'm not totally sure. Don't forget, Omwagege is not in Tinubu camp in the recess of it. So, because Tinubu is the president now, he does not have option. But it's naturally It was more aligned with the Buhari cap and the Buhari team, like that core Buhari team. So, but it was not really Tinubu per se. So the politics is gonna be dirty. It's gonna be dirty. I might see. I'm not gonna be surprised if I see Omoagege moving. I'm not gonna be surprised. It can happen if you calculate, because these politicians, some of them are very desperate, right? So you can calculate now. Say, listen, we gotta move. Yeah, because right now the 3 senators from Delta, they are in APC. I know even the governor not the capital APC, Delta would have been very difficult for him to win, because Ibori is working with Tinubu. Ibori daughter the camp already to APC. Ibori himself, he's just there, but he's APC man. Ayeri and Mami, those are the guys that pop money into politics. You don't forget Ayeri is Ibori boy. So Ibori still control the politics of Delta. Even from prison, Ibori was controlling the politics of Delta. From Oduaga to Okowa, he was fully involved in their nomination. Even the present governor. So you will see a lot. Yeah, even Ibori was supporting somebody else, but it's still his structure, right? The structure you see in politics in Delta is Ibori structure. So we still have a lot of influence over all these guys. So watch out for Omoagege.
People waiting for chat now something for that. Normally I don't pay attention to chat, but there's not enough people here. So somebody say Femi is just using a pseudonym. You know, he's not a Yoruba person. He's from Anambra.
Don't mind it.
No, seriously, I'm Yoruba person. I'm from Ondo State.
No, this Femi is Yoruba. You could hear
I'm making before I traveled north. I was in Nigeria during 2013. I traveled 4 years ago. Not, I am APC through and through. I participated in the formation of APC, like campaign a lot through in the grassroots, and the last election in my state, I still participated. I am an APC man. But what I want to say is that I would like to mention about the Senate president. I think the Senate president will move out of Akwa Ibom, and Okowa can be the Senate president. These are all game. I see it like Okowa has been a senator before. He will be a ranking senator when he wins the next election. But the issue I'm saying is that Okowa is also from the same zone. Nedunwoko, they are from the same zone.
Nah, it is Okowa. Yeah, true.
They're from the same state, right? Yeah, Nedunwoko and Okowa, yeah.
Yeah, they are from the same zone.
They are from
are they from the same zone in Delta State?
Yeah.
Yes, Delta State.
Oh, okay. They are both Delta Igbo now.
Right, but you know, there are some other Delta Igbo like Ibuzo or someone. I'm talking about zone wise.
No, all those
No, they are from the same senatorial district.
That's Saba, Aziz, Ogwachuku, Anocha, Oshimile, all those areas. They are both their zone.
That is why I say that Nedunwoko is possible for him also to decamp back to PDP. There is possibility.
Ned will not
because Okowa will have the governor's support. And yesterday the president said it himself, represented by the vice president, that Okowa is the sheriff is now the leader of APC in Delta State.
He will be the leader, but Ned is not a small stone to crack. He hold money. Okowa no need Ned.
Yeah, Ned did not get money where governor get to.
No, governor will not. I don't think they will find. No, I don't think they will find. Ned will be there. I think he will be in the Senate, except he decide not to contest. Ned is popular, and this, he's popular among.
Yes, Mr. Ewa, you said something about
who?
About Osun State governor.
And the dancing governor.
You said something about Osun State governor. Osun State, like Adeleke, that Tinubu should talk to Adeleke. I don't think Tinubu have to talk to Adeleke. Adeleke if Adeleke has been, you have been the governor. For you to work for Atiku for Atiku to win or choose stay in last election, I don't think Tinubu should welcome this guy into his camp. In my own view,
So what were you
I
expecting?
think
What were you
APC
expecting?
can win. No, Oyo State governor work for Tinubu.
No, what you guys don't know, politics, every political cycle is different. If you bring in fresh candidate now, you will see the thing will reshape. What happened in Oshu, Adeleke, he was left with just one option. Adeleke case was in Supreme Court. Don't forget, he lost election in the lower court already. Adeleke needed to win that election to prove to the Supreme Court to listen, this state is PDP. So he could not have just gambled with Oshu. That was why he did everything to make sure Atiku win Oshu State. It was a signature. Yeah, that was what happened. So 2027 will be different. What you saw in Oyo might happen in Oshu, even if Adeleke is not the campaign. Like in Oshu, if you watch what happened in Oyo, right? After the presidential election, you saw what happened in the governorship election? APC just abandoned the election. It was a right for what's his name, the governor. So that is politics. So Adeleke is contesting for second term now. He knows if he open up the election, APC are gonna give him hit. So he will be looking for a way to avoid that hit. So there might be negotiation. Mr. President, we're gonna give you the support. Please leave the state for us. There might be begging negotiation. So politics is interesting. It's very interesting. Yeah, you will see. You will just be watching it. Politics is very until so where I will see like what one man was saying right now when he said if you allow the election to be a free affair, yes, until you see Nigeria, the power to elect anybody is with the people. Nigeria politics, no be mama. When you give the power to the people in such a way that the people will really determine the original winner, we'll start discussing different things. We'll start have.
Why I'm Femi. This I made Baba made another interesting comment, that kind of confirm what we have been saying. And he stated it categorically that it's about 2,000 to 3,000, maybe not up to 3,000, that is ruling this country. The politicians.
Yeah, of course.
He put a number in it. He said 2,000, maybe not up to 3,000. That control this country.
Yeah, I don't even think it's up to self.
Yeah, but I'm just saying he put a number in it. This is somebody who's been in the politics for a long time. He put a number in it. So 2,000. Yeah.
Here is why I said it's not even up to a man of prestige. It's not up to 1,000. You know why I'm saying that?
Why?
If you pick any state now, it's either one man controlling the state or one man controlling senatorial district. So meaning, let's assume one man is controlling the senatorial district.
But how about his subordinate?
That is the one making the call. So it's a structure. So that's why when we say, Nigeria election is all about structure, people will start abusing you. Not Nigeria election all over the world is political structure, nothing more. Why do you think Democrat cannot go to call Republican state to win election? Who born you? Why do you think Republican call Republican Republican not go to call Democrat state to win election? Not structure.
That is true.
When you say, people will tell you, apart from the swing state, Nigeria will also have swing state. There are states that Nigeria is even better than USA in terms of this election, not like the credibility of the election. In terms of structure, Nigeria, look at Lagos. Lagos switch over now. You know what I mean? So in Nigeria, when you hear that, it's just like Konkoso now. Say, Konkoso control politics of Kano. It's not Konkoso per se. He has leaders he's working with. In every local government, they will give the person money. They will give the person support. Bam, say, okay, deliver your local government. That's what they do.
You
So
know,
that look,
AY,
that look. Sorry, let me
I think
finish
I'm
this.
agreeing with you with the
Let me finish
analysis.
this. Let me finish this.
Okay.
That local government leader, Kokoso we call, he has people in the villages that head those villages, that control them, that will say, okay, we need the vote from your village. The village leader, he has people that are in units, in what's it called? How do you break down villages now? Like part of the village that will say, hey, that your area, you got to deliver your unit to. So that's how they break down the structure. That's all what you say. The people will say. So those are the people that will still protect those votes to make sure nobody is coming to rig the election. So, like Labour Party don't have that structure. PDP and APC have that structure. So they will push you till the last unit. From that unit, that's how they will protect the vote too. From the unit, protect the vote to the coalition center. Protect. So that's what happened in Nigeria election.
Okay. Like I was saying, you know, before I interject, sorry to interject. I think I'm agreeing with you with some deviation, you know, and let me make my point, because you paint two pictures, you know, you bring the example of America, you know, structure, you know, you compare to Nigeria. Yes, to a certain degree, but there's a little bit of difference. So let me start with the American structure. Like my state, California, Republican has never won presidential election. The last time, to my own recollection, I wasn't here, but from what I read, Reagan was the only Republican president ever win California. And governorship wise, they have not won it in a long time. The last person was Arnold Schwarzenegger. We know he's not really a true Republican. He's like more a progressive Republican. So that was the last governor. And we know how he came into power through a recall and all that kind of things. So in that regard, yeah, definitely. I mean, a Democrat has never won like a place like Tennessee, Alabama, all those red states. I've never seen, you know, I have to go back to my, you know, to the data to really find if they have a state like Alabama. They have never won it. And you have some, you know, middle of the ground, you know, state that kind of shift every now and then, particularly where I'm right now in Florida. Democrat, the last time the Democrat won it was Obama. So it's kind of sweet, but lately, Florida is becoming a red state. And Georgia, maybe, you know, what's his name? Biden won it last time. You know, they have not won in election. So yeah, that demarcation is there. When you talk in terms of structure, yeah, I believe you. But the difference there is that in in America, mostly you have more progressive minded people is the people that live in California. This is why